Hello, everyone, and welcome to the OCRP series tonight at Iowa. And we got one heck of a race for you. It is the 6th annual OCRP Corn Meme 150. So you'll see a lot of corn memes when it comes to the actual paints of the cars. And I am joined by Joe Cortez. Joe, welcome back under the lights here at Iowa. Should be a good one tonight.
Good to be back as always, Jeff. Love getting corny with you here at what should be a very, very entertaining track, very entertaining race tonight. These guys are having a little bit of trouble. You'd think they got cream corn on those tires, the way they've been skating through turns 4. So I think we're in for quite an entertaining evening tonight.
Absolutely, and we see already right there, look at the corn on the side of these cars. You're going to see a lot of that. I like the matte black on Wes's scheme. That looks really good there. But one of the biggest things is, you know, if you talk about cream corn on the cars. Well, I mean, we've seen how they've been slipping out of turn 4 and 2, respectively. So a very slick track, even though the track temperature right now is 77 degrees outside, but it's 79 degrees on the actual track. Even though that seems low, they're struggling with these cars.
Well, it seems low because it is low, considering, you know, during a daytime race, a daytime track, the track temperatures can get over 100. And when the track gets hot, it gets a little grippier. It gets a little more manageable. Tonight on this asphalt track, 7/8 of a mile, 12 to 14 degrees of progressive banking in those turns. It's going to be like skating on ice out there, especially coming off of turns 3 and 4, making that transition off of 4 onto the 10-degree front stretch. These guys are gonna have to figure out how to make this work, how to figure out how to get off on that turn, and more importantly, what do they need to do? How do they need to speed up how do they need to manage their speed in order to make that turn successfully?
And with that, we're either going to have a caution fest of a night, or some people are just going to figure it out. I don't think that's going to happen. I think especially in the very beginning, you know, we've seen these guys wrecking these cars. I mean, granted, you know, we're in practice right now for the next 9 minutes and 30 seconds. But when you get another car next to you and you're dealing with aero next to you with these cars, it's going to get shaky really fast. So I would not be surprised if we see a couple cautions early on in the race.
Well, Jeff, more importantly, you have to remember these guys also only have one quick repair. If they mess up the car, if they get in the wall, if they really beat it up in this first half of the race, they only have one quick repair to fall back on. As we watch Bugs now in the American Cornhole Organization 81 tonight. You see him running as far as he can, about 152 into turns number 1 and 2 as he hits the brakes hard and then kind of swerves it. Kind of gets squirrely coming off 3 and 4, going on backstretch into turns 3 and 4. If these guys mess up the cars, they only have one quick repair. That's all they had to fall back on. They have tires galore, but only one quick repair. So I think you're going to see a lot of conservative driving up front because nobody wants to be stuck in this race having burned their quick repair on lap 6.
Well, I can tell you firsthand he's got his hands full right now off of turn 2 there. I can tell you firsthand by driving this. I've driven this car at this track before. I know what it's like. And there's sometimes when you get out here and like right here, you know, the car is so wildly out of control. Even from the first 2 laps, you're like, this is as good as it's going to get as far as tires go. It can really be a mental challenge for you to get over as the night goes on. But man, yeah, these guys definitely have their hands full tonight.
And it's only going to get worse the more they wear down those tires. And as we talked about, this is a very short track, 7/8 of a mile. It's slightly bigger than Bristol. It's got the D shape, which is always a little bit of a challenge to race on, and it's a cold track out there. So these guys have a lot of stuff to contend with. They've got a lot of stuff to deal with and on their mind. So again, if you're asking for my call, I think these guys are going to go way conservative in the first part of the race. Try to let the tires get under them a little bit, then they can really see what they have for them before they get too racy after those tires drop off.
And you have to. I mean, on paper, yeah, that's exactly how you need to approach the start of this race. But whether guys are going to do it or not, that's a whole different scenario. We see guys just getting too excited on the first couple laps because, you know, you spend all this time sitting here in practice and running laps. Now you got to do it when you have a car, just a couple inches off of you, and it's hard to pass them on top of that. So put a slick track and passing opportunities like that are going to be kind of slim tonight. I think that it could be interesting for sure.
It's going to be very entertaining because, again, when the cars are being this squirrely to start, just imagine how it's going to be when you have traffic stacked up all the way behind you. We've got, 20-some cars on the grid tonight? With that much traffic, it's going to be very difficult not only to get around, but finding those opportunities. You really have to wait for the guy in front of you to make a mistake or have that much confidence in your car to make the move.
It is going to be one heck of a show no matter what, as we've moved on quite a few races into the season. The 91 there on the wall, I was trying to figure out what was going on with that one. But if we have a look at our schedule here, we are at Iowa tonight as we just wrapped up everything in Kansas, and another thanks to you for hanging out in the booth at Kansas, as Ryan couldn't make that race. He couldn't make this race either, so really, really happy to have you here again. And we move on to Mid-Ohio next week, and that is going to be different because, hey, now we're on a road course.
Hey, road courses can be a lot of fun. You've seen NASCAR adopt more and more road courses in their schedule. Road courses are great because it's a great equalizer. It really forces you to think strategically and think different than what you would on an oval track. With an oval track, it's all about setting up the car to do well. It's all about being able to figure out what everyone else is doing. With a road course, you're not just going against the traffic, you're also going against yourself, your own mental fortitude, your own abilities. You have to remember where you can speed up, where your braking zones are. One slip of concentration on a road course and your day could be done very easily.
And that's another great thing is that, you have guys here that are good at road courses and have been waiting for the road course to come up. But, if you're in the points game, well, you need to perform well here tonight if you're going into next week thinking, hey, it's going to be a bad race for me. But a lot of guys are looking forward to that so they can actually show their speed.
Next week's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of different reasons. It's going to be a completely different race than what you see here tonight. If you really enjoy smart management, if you really enjoy the drama that comes with road racing, be sure to tune in next week for the end of the Midwest run, because Mid-Ohio is a great track. It's a great car.
It's a great car.
It's a great car. It's a great place to drive a car. God, I sound like Danica Patrick.
Actually,
that's not a compliment.
She got a lot of crap for the Las Vegas. I thought she did great at Vegas.
She didn't do terrible.
No, I mean, compared to the SRX. SRX was really shaky in the beginning, but yeah, I thought she did way better. And yeah. Anywho, I don't want to throw shade on her. No reason for that. Having a look here, we got some fast ones. Look at it. Clint Spell's up there, 8th fastest right now on the board. Always good to see that. Where's he at on the track right now? Well, he's just sitting here on pit road. And you can see he's got that first pit stall. And when you're in practice, that means that you were the first one there. You got it. So talk about putting the time in. Well, it shows because he's 8th fastest right now. And maybe about to get back out on the track. Dylan Macedo out there turning some laps at the moment. And he's got the corn down the side of his NDR car.
Going down the backstretch now, going into turns 3 and 4. Let's see how he manages these turns. Let's see how he's able to come off 4. Is he able to do it successfully and navigate it? Oh, gets a little squirrely in that Chevrolet. Able to manage it, though. He might have touched the wall. Turn 4, coming off the turn into that D oval up front. That is going to be a challenge. That's really where you're going to see a lot of the drama come in tonight.
Yeah, and you'll see guys that are like really binding that car down to the bottom, like right here. And it feels like the car's getting tight on you, but it's going to be so snap loose off because you're binding that up. So it's going to be finding that middle ground of, hey, I need to let the car do what it wants to do naturally in the center of the corner, but then you need to drive as straight off the corner as possible to show speed, because these guys that are sliding around all this place, they are just absolutely going to murder their tires.
Oh, tires are going to be the name of the game tonight. And if we do have multiple cautions, expect to see everybody down on pit road to get new tires, to get those 4 brand new Goodyears underneath them and wear them throughout this race. I've got a feeling, especially at the beginning of the race, we're going to see a lot of cautions. We're going to see a lot of wrecking. We're going to see a lot of challenges for these drivers, but that's going to give them time to shake out the cars, continually put new tires on it, and just simply race to what's comfortable for them so they can hopefully make some longer runs later in the night.
Interesting to see there that Reno was running the middle of 3 and 4, and it seemed to work out a lot better for him. I mean, not speed-wise, but it didn't seem like he was fighting the car too much compared to some of these other guys. But yeah, now it's getting later into practice, more cars on the track. You're going to see a lot more spins because now these guys are starting to come together. And earlier, they didn't have to worry about that at all. Let's see what his onboard is like here and how Reno's getting around the track. He's no stranger to Iowa. He knows how to get around here.
Almost dirt tracking it as they spin in front of him coming off of turn number 4. Alex Reno manages it successfully, and it wouldn't surprise me if that outer line, just like Kansas, that outer line is going to be the preferable one tonight, because as you not only can you carry more speed on the high side, but you may be able to make that transition a little bit easier. You may be able to make that turn a lot faster and ultimately have more control of the car coming off turns 3 and 4. The other thing that will complicate things in traffic for these guys is the draft will come into play. Now, obviously, this is a short track. It's not going to be a major deal, but, you know, running in a line of 4 cars front and behind you, it's going to be a lot different than running just by yourself right now in this track. It's going to have a lot more speed. You're going to carry a lot more speed going into each turn. So these guys are really going to have to figure out how to manage their speed and how to manage their tires in order to be successful.
Here's another driver is no stranger to Iowa and how to get it done. Did make a tweet earlier today talking about how difficult this track would be tonight, and we'll see how they can manage it. Right now, showing some speed, 7th fastest on the board right now. Brandon Osborne, they're in the Mahindra Ford Mustang. Looks really nice.
That does look very swish. I like that.
I don't see any corn on the car, though. You see any corn there? There's got to be some corn somewhere. Nope.
Well, it's a tractor company, so
I know.
The corn theme is inherent there. The corn is inherent on there. The corn is suggested. You know, sometimes the best ideas are the ones that simply live in your mind.
Well, there you go. That's going to wrap up practice, and now we move into qualifying and explaining. The first 5 minutes of qualify will be qualify. The last 5 are the driver's meeting. Sometimes it takes a little less than that, but we give ourselves 10 minutes accordingly. So we could be green flag racing here in about 8 minutes, but more than likely we'll be green flag here in about 12 to be realistic. So not much further to wait until things start to happen. But let's keep an eye on the board here on the left and see, as a few drivers are already out there on the track. And one of those drivers is indeed that 81 of Brandon Buggs. We'll see what he can do here. One of the favorites coming in tonight.
The American Cornhole Organization, Supra, takes the green flag for his first of 2 qualifying laps around Iowa Speedway. Did he learn anything throughout the practice session? Using that higher line, the middle line, dirt tracks it off of 1 and 2, now into 3 and 4.
Man, yeah, this is going to be difficult for these guys. Now, keep in mind, you know, it's the outlap. Your tires are nice and cold right now. So now he's going to be coming to the line here to get as much as he possibly can out of this thing.
Going high once again into turns 1 and 2, using the middle lane to his advantage. Is he going to get sideways off the turn? No, he will not. Manages it perfectly right up against the wall into 3 and 4. This will be the money turn, Jeff.
Yep, right here's going to be everything he can get out of it. Webb to the top of the board right now, and Buggs was 5th fastest that last time. Let's see what this one's going to be. This one's going to bring him up there on the pole. Look at that. And Jason Lance just knocked him off the pole, but he was there for a second.
He was there for all of 3 seconds. You saw it here first, folks. So Lance now on the pole. Osborne knocks off Graham, and Buggs all the way down to 4th. Webb, you rounds out your top 5.
And right here, keep an eye on this guy. This is Leonard Fodorero. Speed. Won 2 races and lost the last race, but not by much. He came in 2nd right there. So definitely one to watch tonight is Fodorero. He's been absolutely on fire this season. And right now, that's going to put him 4th on the board.
Does Amazon Prime deliver corn?
You know what?
Like,
I bet they do.
Can I order an ear of corn right now and then just get it? Ryan Steinhoff coming off the track in the Corn Hub machine.
Yeah,
he will come.
Oh, you're good.
And I was just trying to get a time on him.
Yeah, I think it was a 24.143, so that's going to put him on P13.
See, kids, this is why you don't drive distracted. Leave the Corn Hub at home.
Aaron Beaver out there, another familiar face and name that we know has been here since the very beginning of the OCRP series, which, spoiler alert, will be rebranding possibly next season. We're going to be getting away from the OCRP because half the guys in here anymore are not in OCRP. They've been invited into the league, so it is something that we've been talking about doing. And
That's
there you go. Ooh, where did he get out of that one? I don't think he's got a time down yet, so he can still go out there and try to get it done. Aaron Beaver there, so we'll see how that works out for him.
Great save to keep the car clean, though.
Oh, yeah. Osborne out there right now trying to, I think he has a little bit of time left here. He's going to try to get a better time. He's going to keep shooting here for the stars. No, I think that's going to be locked in.
If you got the time, maybe he's just taking a few extra practice laps.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing right now. Yep. He's known to do that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, you can, obviously. They're not going to kick you off the track, but should you? It's an ethical debate, if you will.
That is true. But right now, second as far as the speed goes. But how about Jason Lance? I mean, you talk about a driver that is just always there in the top 5, top 10, always. And he always qualifies really well, but just cannot get the job done yet.
Well, he may have a great opportunity tonight just because of the degree of difficulty involved in the track. Sometimes your best wins are a race of attrition, and being able just to outlast 24 other competitors, I should say, on the track. So, you know, if he can do that tonight, if all he has to do is race clean, race smart, and he could finally get that car in victory lane.
Well, we have quite a few of you watching live right now on twitch.tv/jfavignano, and some of you will be watching this on the Favignano Live channel. We appreciate that. But let's hear it right now in the live chat. Who do you think is going to get it done tonight at Iowa? I don't see Rucci here, and if he's not here yet, I don't think he's going to show up. And that just, again, shows the holes in the problem of people that utilize the drop weeks. So if you don't know what that means, there are drop weeks in this league, and if you get so far ahead in points, you don't have to show up for a couple of races because it doesn't matter. To me, I think moving forward, get rid of the drop weeks. That's just my personal opinion, because it makes a tighter points race, and it also rewards the guys that show up week in and week out.
Or give them the option. They can have one drop week, but if they miss a week, that's their drop week, and that's it. They don't get to pick and choose. If they don't show up, that's their drop week, and and that can hurt you, especially if you're dropping on a track that you'd be good at.
100%. Well, folks, this is the 6th annual OCRP Corn Meme 150. We'll be back in just a few moments for some green flag action under the lights. And welcome back once again under the lights here at Iowa Speedway, where we are just about to get going. And this time we're not going to screw ourselves. We're going to actually start your starting grid a lot earlier. That's what I would like to do. and probably what we should do. So you ready, Joe? Let's go through the starting grid.
In row number 1, starting on the pole with the 86 of Jason Lance. Brandon Osborne, the Mahindra Tractors Ford Mustang, starts position number 2.
In row 2, Wes Graham, Wes the Mess, one of the ones that I saw there in chat, people rooting for tonight. And Leonard Fodorero starting in the outside there in row 2.
The inside of row number 3 will belong to the fan favorite tonight, Brandon Buggs, in the American Cornhole Organization Toyota Supra. Outside of him, the 91 of Robert Webb.
In row 4, you got Nick at Night, Nick Sargent in the 48 car, and then James Hilton on the outside.
Positions 9 and 10 will belong to the 87 of Charles Gray, and on the outside of him, the 21 of Austin Johnson.
Row number 6, Clint Spell showing a lot of speed tonight. Good to see him up there once again, and Ryan Powder on the outside.
On the inside of row number 7, the 25 of Dylan Macedo. On the outside of him, the 59 of Ryan Steinhoff.
And row number 8, Alex Reno and Zachary Guzman. Sorry.
Row number 9 belongs to Joel Brown, the inside, Scott Barkman on the outside.
Row 10, Ben Tuttle and Kyle Cleveland.
Row 11, Jeffrey Spells in the Supra, Robert Kellert in the Mustang.
Row number, oh, that was it. We did it. We actually had it right this time. I forgot we get 2 laps here at Iowa because it's short. I was like, wait a minute. Are we going to be... I was like really trying to fly through that last part there.
We did it. That's all that matters. We did it. Everyone's been announced. Now there's only one thing left to do, Jeff.
Yes, sir. Lights are off on the pace car. We will be green flag racing next time by. I think a lot of these guys in the chat right now, a lot of y'all are sleeping on this 80 car and what Brandon Osborne can bring to the table, especially at Iowa. I have seen him race here many times, so my money is on that 80 car, but we'll keep an eye on that 67 and the 81.
My money's on the 88. Wes the Mess has proven time and time again, when push comes to shove, he has what it takes to win races, and it wouldn't surprise me if he finds a way tonight to get that corn special in victory lane.
All right, pace car is about to duck off here. Here it goes, and we are holding and waiting. The 86 of Lance is the control car, waiting for that green flag, and green flag in the air at Iowa.
2 by 2, they go through the D-Oval into turn number 1. It will be the 86 that has the advantage, but watch out, the 80 has a preferred line. Can he make the pass? Woo. No, he's going to check up, opens the door for the 67.
Looks like he got really loose on the outside there, and we're going to see that happen time and time again. Look at the 88 getting really aggressive, 3 wide for their lead.
3 wide through turn 4. Can they hold on to it? They do, and that opens up the door for the 80. He will make it. He will lead the first lap.
Man, Jason Lance just caught right there in the middle. Couldn't really do a whole lot with it there. And look how close he is to the 88. And oh, he gets into the wall there.
Oh, that's going to hurt him. Watch for him to fall to the pack here as he tries to recover some speed. Meanwhile, Wes on the Cobb now in position number 2.
Yeah, look at that. You got the 81 of Brandon Buggs. Got around him. No problem there. And the caution flies. Looks like we have trouble back there near James Hilton. Charles Gray, maybe. Nope. Even further back. Robert Kellert involved. That's Bearder there, and the 13 as well of Jeffrey Spells. We're going to find out what happened here in just a few. Let's back that up. Looks like it happened right here on the front stretch. Everybody's already checking up here, so it might have happened right in front of him, actually. Looks like we had a car. It might have been Zachary Guzman. We had the 91 of Robert Webb sideways and a few others, so let's see what happened here. Hard to say. Looks like it was right about here. Looks like the 91 of Robert Webb just got really loose coming off of turn 4. We talked about this one being the Achilles heel tonight. Here it is right here, rearing its ugly head, Joe.
Yeah, that turn 4 transition just bit him. Nowhere to go for the rest of the cars behind him. He will go straight into the wall, collect the 21, collect, what is that, the 86, I believe, and several other cars just get involved in that one as well. I count at least half a dozen taking damage on that incident.
Yeah, and you can see Barney there throwing that yellow flag. Just wasn't enough time for the 13 to check up there. Yeah, so that was Guzman involved. That's Aaron Beaver. You got Alex Reno involved. A lot of other guys. Really bad break for them. So they're going to have to come down on pit road, and they're going to have to take care of that, unfortunately, and, well, use that fast repair.
I guarantee you this is exactly what they were afraid of. This was not the situation they wanted to be in at this point, having no other recourse but to use that quick repair, that fast repair. And right now, that's going to make this a very, very difficult race. One more incident like that, and they're done for the night.
Yeah, and a really bad break there for Robert Kellert there in the 4. Was really rooting for him to have a good night, and just kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time there. 13 having some connection issues, dropping in and out. That's the reason why you see them blink like that. Remember, we're doing some sim racing here, and Joe, you know what it's like. You've been behind these things, but you've driven one of these before many times on the iRacing service, and sometimes you deal with netcode, you deal with dropouts like that. It's internet.
Jeff, I've been literally on every angle of one of these cars for over a decade now, and I can tell you, when you're running on the internet, you will have control of very little, and anything can do it. A car runs into a light pole, your internet's out. Bad storm, your internet goes out. You don't have control of that. All you have control over is what you can do in front of your computer behind that steering wheel, and the rest, you just hope that everything works for the best.
And that's exactly what you do when you're in the NIS series, or if you're just having fun here in a league race like this, because there's no purse here. Nobody's going for any safety rating or iRating. This is just strictly fun. And
it's iRating, Jeff. Get it right.
The safety rating's more important than iRating, let's be real.
It's true. It's very true.
Lights are on the pace car right now. Should be lights off this time by, where they're going to double up 2x2 and get started once again after a quick caution after a big mess on the front stretch. So now it comes down. I think we're going to see another crazy restart here.
I think we're going to see a much more calm restart. I think these guys are hopefully going to calm down, and with warm tires, just try to get through turns 1 and 2 before things get crazy. Osborne making a very interesting move, taking that high line over west of the Cobb, I should say, West Ram. It'll be a very interesting restart for that reason alone. Can Osborne get the jump that he wants on that high side?
That is what it was all about on that first start of the race. You saw the 80 car power on the outside there, and I think that's what he wants to do again. But, seeing those guys going 3 wide that early on, I mean, those were 3 guys that know how to get it done, one, but they also don't take risks this early in the race. I think it might be a play for track position.
Well, let's put it this way. The closer you are to the front, the less likely you are to get involved in an accident. And that's the last thing any of these drivers want to do right now.
Pace car's down and away. All right, Joe, you got the call.
It will be Osborne taking the green flag. Green flag flies, and he gets a huge jump. Shot out of a cannon. He will get at least a car length over West. Now to the down to the low side through turns 1 and 2.
And Wes is all over the back of that 80 car. Everybody trying to hang on for dear life as they come off of turn number 2. And there's a lot of racing happening in the back here, right around the 13th position here. Everybody's side by side, and they're all giving each other room. And look at Dylan Macedo on the move.
Dylan Macedo starting to show his strength in that 25 machine. So currently moved up to position number 9 as he rolls around behind the 87, the Carhartt machine of who is that?
The Carhartt machine is the 87 of Charles Gray. And yeah, they're all making moves on the outside lane there. Look at Favignano inside of West, the mess. And now the 81 is trying to get up there to get to the back bumper of the 80.
Osborne has certainly found what works on that high side with warm tires, and he's going to make it the run as hard as he can. So Osborne now position number 1, Bugs moves up to 2, and Favignano in position number 3, all running that high lane.
I'm keeping my eye on that 6 car. Like I said before, he had a lot of speed in practice, and he's been putting the time in, and that shows right now, running in P7, and the bottom lane seems to be his preferred run.
And now these guys are starting to get comfortable with these cars. They're starting to get comfortable and trying to figure out where they can make their best moves, where they can run as hard as they want to. But again, they don't want to run too hard right now, because if we do go to green flag pit stops, they're going to be very careful with how to manage tires and how to manage these cars as they come off the track.
I'm really surprised. A lot of these guys are still side by side, right around the 4th position and on back. It's a lot of racing back here.
Well, again, this is all for position. These are all guys running for position, trying to get as far as front as they can, because the sooner they get out of that pack, the less risk they have of getting involved in a big accident.
Yeah, that's a big group back there trying to get that. Watching the 43 of Joel Brown, he was racing the inside of Ryan Steinhoff in the 59, and man, he almost got to his door there in the tri-oval. So the 43, we know he was having some issues in practice keeping that car underneath him. It looks like it might be having those problems again.
He may have just gotten a little aggressive and overdrove it. Remember, because of that transition coming off 3 and 4, that progressive banking going from 14 to 12 to 10, you don't have a lot of banking to begin with, but when you're going that fast without any banking, that makes that transition even harder to manage. It's very, very easy to overdrive, as we saw all throughout practice tonight.
Dylan Macedo fighting that outside lane right next to the 48 of Nick Sargent. Nick Sargent trying to hold on to that 6th position there, but I think he's going to give it up to him. Not quite yet. They're still side by side.
Fighting side by side as they continue to run the high line, obviously the preferred line of everybody, as we go on board now with the 25 Macedo. Look behind him as he gets around the 48 of Sargent, able to cleanly pass him. He's going to go block low, forcing him to go 2x2 once again, trying to get some distance on those drivers behind him, forcing them to side draft off one another.
I'm wondering what happened to Jason Lance. You know, he had that pole position in the start of the race, but he's fallen back into the 7th position. Maybe he's just playing it safe, you know, taking it a little more conservative than some of the others.
Could be a conservative play, could be a slow roll. Remember, you don't win on lap 16 or 17 or 122. You win on lap 150, and the only way to get there is with a car that's running in the right direction at the end of the race.
On board with Bugs' Toyota here. He is fighting hard for that 2nd position with Favignano, but man, if you're the 80 car, you're loving it because it's increasing your lead to almost 2.5, now almost 3 seconds now.
Now, not only that, but as Bugs and Favignano fight for position, he knows that the two of them are tearing up valuable tires right now. He knows that those tires are wearing out faster than his. All he has to do is keep it in cruise control and watch those two fight. If they're smart, they're going to lay off each other. They're going to say, hey, let's get in line. Let's start making our way up to Osborne, and then we can really see what these cars can do.
Man, I really look, I love to see the 6 up here, but I mean, what can you say? Look at Clint Spell, started 11th tonight. He's in the 4th position, and he's got speed on the 67, making that bottom lane work.
He has a lot of speed, and he really wants to get around that 67, but as you watch him go now through turns 3 and 4, he's not forcing the issue. He's not overdriving it through the turn. He's not forcing that car to do too much. He's simply letting the car dictate the line, and he's going to continue to watch what happens behind him, watch what goes on in front of him, and try to take advantage if one of those two make a mistake.
Clint Spell's passing the 88 of Graham there. Not something you normally see, but it really goes to show how much he has evolved as a driver in this, and I love to see it. I mean, I root for Clint Spells every single time I can, and this is no different.
The Capital One FFA machine doing very well. That Camaro running hard tonight, as it looks like Favignano is going to get around Bugs side by side. They're going to go racing in turns 3 and 4.
Can't quite make that pass. He's been trying a few times here, but Bugs is so strong on exit, and that's what we talk about, that momentum that you can carry if you can master the outside lane, and we're seeing the 81 do that.
You know, the 81 now, he is all he wants to do. He doesn't want to dogfight the 67. He does not want Favignano to continue to dive underneath him. He just wants to keep him at bay, stay in front of him, and let the 67 burn out his tires. You're running on the back bumper now of Bugs' Toyota Supra, and you see the 2-line difference in how hard the 67 is charging. If he can keep him running that hard, burning those tires, that's going to play in Bugs' favor, and that could ultimately secure him 2nd place, if not a win.
You think they're taking it easy, Joe? I don't think they are. I think they're giving it everything they got right now. I thought they'd be in conservative mode, but it looks like they're racing the heck out of each other right now.
I think it depends on where you're at in the track, first and foremost. I think it really depends on where you're racing and who you're racing against. If you're Osborne, you're not worried about a thing right now. You've got 3 seconds. Let everyone else fight behind you. If you're Bugs, all you have to do is just run your race and let Favignano try as hard as he can to get around you so that he'll burn up those tires. If you're everybody else, right now is not the time to get super aggressive. Simply run your race, run what you need to do, as the 26 now comes off pit road. Not sure why the 26 was down there this time, but in any event, all they have to do is run their race and start getting ready for the first round of green flag pit stops.
And that was Zachary Guzman that was down on pit road. He has used one of his fast repairs, and he is scored currently in the 21st position. Out front right now, it's been the Brandon Osborne show. Incredible lead right now, almost 3.5 seconds in front of the field, as he's now at the stripe. And then behind him, you got Leonard Fodorero still battling with the 81.
Fodorero now side by side as they go into turns 1 and 2. Looks like he's starting to get the speed. He's dug enough. He's plowed deep enough to try to get around, but Bug still just has too much power coming off the outside lane.
And this has got to be really refreshing for these guys. Sometimes you get in the rhythm of racing everybody, or getting in a line. But man, there's a lot of side-by-side action here tonight.
Oh, these guys are having a lot of fun out here. They've calmed down. The cars are now working the way they're supposed to, and now they can get really racy as Fodorero finally makes a pass off turn 2. He will lead, but will Bugs challenge in 3 and 4?
I don't think so.
Says no.
Yeah, I saw right there when I cut over to the other cars. I was watching behind there where Wes Graham and Clint Spells was, but the 81 got really sideways on the top lane there and had to gather it up and lost a lot of position on the 67 there. That's what happened.
He got caught up doing a little bit of rear view mirror driving, and that's what hurt him. He overdrove the car trying to save his position, but in the end, it ended up hurting him. Let's go on board now with a 25 Macedo.
Yep, just slowly but surely, he's moving his way forward with a 25.357 last time compared to the 24.972 that Brandon Osborne has been putting down. He has been in the 24.9 region and broken the 24s there. His best is a 23.993 for Osborne there. But, I mean, these guys have a lot of work ahead of them, that's for certain. But Dylan Macedo getting speed here on the 6.
Getting some speed on the low side. So we know that if you can manage a low side, if you can manage your tires, it's possible to get a good run. But what I'm curious about, Jeff, is just how much life is it taking off those Goodyear Eagles? How much rubber are they losing when they make those lower runs instead of running the higher lane? And how much will that hurt them at the end of the run?
I think this is the time to do it. You're not going to get this done in one stop. So might as well see what you can get out of the car and what you can get out of the tires early on, so you can make those decisions later down the road. Hey, do I take 2 tires? Should I take 4? Does it really matter? What is track position doing tonight? I think that's going through all their heads right now before they get on pit road.
And if you're going to try strategy, if you're going to try anything crazy, now is the time to do it. You don't want to be caught on lap 150, not knowing what your tires are capable of, not knowing what the setup's capable of, and ultimately that could cost you the race. That could cost you 2nd, 3rd, 4th down the road. As once again, the battle heats up for 2nd. Bugs all over the back bumper of Fodorero.
Yeah, and we're seeing the difference in the lines that these guys are running. The 67 running the mid line here, and Bugs gets all the way down to that yellow line in 3 and 4, which really is making a lot of room on him, but he just can't get by the 67 because check it out. Watch the 67's exit speed. It's pretty high.
Again, he's carrying all the momentum off that that mid lane, and he's able to keep the speed going off. Now, that doesn't help Bugs there because he just doesn't seem to get the run down low that the 67 was every time he was trying to pass him on 3 and 4. Plus, Bugs could be a little conservative there. He could be tiptoeing a little bit because he overdrove it earlier. He doesn't want to make that same mistake again.
And looking behind him, you can see there's the 88. Look at Bugs running the middle lane there to high, and the 88 all the way down to the bottom right there in 1 and 2. And he is starting to make his way forward right now.
He's going to start burning up those tires underneath him, trying to make a run, trying to get caught up to those two. Now, at a track like this, aerodynamics aren't as big a deal. You're not going to see guys line up. You're not going to see them start running a train to try to catch up to the leader. Instead, they're going to wait for someone to make a mistake, wait for the caution flag to fly. I've got a feeling cautions breed cautions, and I've got a feeling we're not done seeing cautions tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so, especially, once you get the field stacked up, or if these guys start to run out of, tire and you get off of turn 4 and you're basically on ice. I think that we might see some self-spins later in the run here. But I'm pretty impressed with what we've seen green flag wise. I thought we'd have at least another caution within the first 50 laps, so I've been proven wrong so far.
So far, that is the case, as everyone's running very clean. Only one yellow flag on lap number 3, as Bugs is starting to finally make a move, and we've got a lot of racing going on in the back half.
Yeah, I was watching there. Scott Barkman losing a couple of positions there. He was racing the 4 of Robert Kellert, and right around there, the 91 of Robert Webb is not for position there. We were watching right around 15th there. It was a good battle.
A lot of fun right there in the back, because again, those guys are simply running for position. They're running to see how far ahead they can get before pit stops start happening. I would expect some of them to maybe pit early and try to see if they can make this a fuel mileage game instead of a tire wear game.
Yeah, I'm really not sure how it's going to work out as far as fuel goes, but definitely with tires, I think it's going to matter, especially around the 45 to 50 lap mark. I think we're really going to see that wear starting to show. But check it out, Graham really driving it down to that line, and he's gaining a lot of speed on these two.
A lot of speed, using that bottom line to his advantage, knowing that you can get a run down there. All you got to do is manage the car well and be able to manage that transition off 4 into the D-shaped front stretch. First 4 have not changed at all. Osborne now 5 seconds, plowing the field with the corpses of these guys, of the cars behind him.
That's a pretty good way to put it. I mean, a 5-second lead is a lot, and I think that we might actually see the 80 car run into lap traffic. I didn't think that'd be a thing here at Iowa tonight, but I think that could play into this. But you know what? It goes back to watching the 67 and the 81 fighting as much as they were. That really, really increased the lead for the 80.
Well, yeah, any time you get cars behind you fighting, it slows down their speeds. It forces them to wear their tires out faster. It forces them to concentrate more on the driver in front of them. So when you have that, if you're the leader and you see everyone fight behind you, you want that to happen. You're rooting for them to go racing, because the more they infight, the more they side draft on each other, the better advantage it gives for you to start just mowing down the track.
The fastest car is on the track right now besides the leader. That would be the 25 of Dylan Macedo, at a 25.197 there, compared to what we're seeing right here out of Brandon Buggs with a 25.3. So quite a bit faster, and he is making his way forward here.
Making his way downtown, lost in the crowd, but still finding a way to make it work. He's to move up from a low of 13th, now up to position number 5. This could be his night. He could be really feeling it out here on this track. And
Dylan's a fantastic driver. We see him always have speed every single track he goes to, but closing these races is so much harder than you would think, and especially when you're dealing with Rucci. That's not here tonight.
The Rucci bot is not here tonight, so it's anybody's game at this juncture. It's anybody's race, but if you're Osborne, it's obviously your place. As we have our first taker down pit road, it's the number 6 machine of Clint Spells.
Yeah, he got really sideways getting onto pit road there at the last second. I was watching the time screen. He was just dropping it. It looked like it was crashing almost, but I noticed that he had been slowing up quite a bit. So yeah, he's coming on pit road here. He needs a really good fast stop here. I'd be interested to see if he takes 4 tires rather than 2. I think you should take 4 no matter what you do here, and get some gas in that thing and get back out on the track.
Right side's up for the Capital One FFA machine. It should be a 4-tire stop for him as we watch Osborne continue to run out here. He has not waved the hand outside. He has not signaled he's going to come down. So the 6 now trying to make this a very interesting move. Could be making a run for gas mileage.
And that was a good stop for him. Didn't use a fast repair or anything like that. Just 4 tires and fuel. Gets back out on the track.
He'll get out on the track, but when everything cycles out, he will be a lap down. Let's see how that plays. Yep, he'll be a lap down now as the 80 of Osborne passes him. Let's see how that plays out for his long-term strategy.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the top 10 and seeing if anybody else comes down pit road right now. And looks like that is not happening at the moment. Well, Scott Barkman, nope, they are just racing hard back there. That's all that's going on right around there. Look at the 43 of Joel Brown, though. He's made his way up here into 6th. He started 17th tonight. Joel Brown with the amazing flow you see right there. Yeah, what a fantastic run tonight. 17th, and he's running 6th.
Eastbound and down goes Joel Brown in that Mustang. little sideways, little contact from the 87 to Charles Gray. Charles opens the door, makes it work, and he will get around him. Sometimes brute force just gets the job done.
Yeah, I doubt he meant to come down into his door right there, but we're just going to keep an eye on these two because we don't know if, somebody's feeling retarded. It sounded like he shifted. I think Joe Brown just downshifted there in turn 2.
He may have downshifted, trying to get a hold of some speed, trying to see if he can get ahead and make some moves. Didn't work for him, but he also could have been done it to save the car. I don't know. Either way, now he is looking at the tail of Gray, trying to get around it one more time. Not going to happen this time around.
Yeah, he's downshifting into third. You can see it right there. I've never seen anybody do that before. That's interesting.
And it could be simply a play to get around that turn a little bit easier. Maybe try to get a little more speed going through turns 3 and 4, using the transmission almost like an engine brake to get around. But, interesting strategy nonetheless, as the 25 now moves up one more position.
Well, yeah, these two just swapped each other places. We're trying to watch the entire race and everything's happening on the track for you guys. But what happened was the 88 and 25, well, we know 25 was really fast, but the 88 utilized that whole thing and shot past him and took the 2 positions away, and they flip-flopped. So the 67 and the 81, well, now they're 2-3 instead of 4 and 5.
And I don't think he's done. I do not think Macedo is happy in position number 3. I think he wants position number 2. He wants to get as close to Osborne as possible. Let's ride on board his Chevrolet Camaro as he starts to run that low line, trying to get a run moving on Wes on the Cobb. Wes just still not willing to give up that spot. He's going to make his car as wide as it can go in order to try to block him through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, and they are starting to pull away from the 67 and the 81 right here, but I mean, still 5.5 seconds they have right now to make up to Osborne, and maybe that will happen if Osborne uses stuff up, but knowing him, I don't think that's the case.
No, right now he's in cruise control. He's not going to burn up tires. He's just going to continue to safely run that middle lane, the one that's worked so well. Now he's even going to run a little bit higher through 3 and 4, as we have another car coming off pit road. That's a 91 of Robert Webb.
Yeah, is he hitting pit road, or he got down there all the way? Robert Webb has not used a fast repair yet. He might decide to do it this time. So he got down on pit road really early, a lot more early than you want to normally.
He might have an engine going down. That's or he might have blown a tire. Both are entirely possible. So let's just wait to see what happens with him as we continue running, watching this race between 2, 3, 4, and 5. A single file train as the 86 tries to get around them, trying to get a lap back.
Yeah, the 86 of Lance, your pole sitter here, came down pit road there, and he's just in 19th right now, trying to cycle out. He's 2 laps, or he showed 1 lap down now. We'll see, 2 laps down. He's going to get this one back if he possibly can. It's going to be interesting. He does not want the caution to come out right now.
No, he does not. That would be the worst possible thing that could happen to him, because he will not get any position back. He'll be stuck there, and that will definitely hurt his forward momentum. Osborne, still no sign of coming in. We've passed the 1/3 of the way mark, now scoring lap 56 of 150. None of these guys looking to give up any inches.
We're back on board with Macedo, keeping an eye on the race that's happening here. They're going to let 86 of Lance by. He's got the freshest tires. No sense in challenging that. Or maybe not. I don't know. The 88's got a lot of speed right now.
Well, again, the 88 now is doing a little bit of cruise control himself. He's now just kind of coasting it, waiting for his spotter to say the 80 is gone down pit road, and then he'll have to make a decision on what he wants to do, if he wants to go down pit road or not, as Macedo dive bombs under the 88. I wonder if Wes is thinking about going down pit road that time.
He might have thought about it. I mean, the 58 laps into this race already, they're getting to the point where the tires are starting to go, as we see Ben Tuttle, the 16 on the wall there, fighting that car.
No caution flag out yet, though, so he will continue to run after earning his Iowa stripe. Get those corn, the little corn. What do you call them? Kernels?
Kernels, yeah.
Out. Get the kernels out of the car.
I like that one. Yeah, up here.
Sometimes you just got to shake the kernels out of the car, shake the bugs out, exercise it, burn sage. I don't care what you do. You just got to do something to get that car running right.
Well, that's what the 67's doing right now. He's trying to shake the bugs off the back bumper there.
Like Taylor Swift, he's trying to shake it off, but I don't know that's going to work well for him, as Bugs now in the Toyota Supra starting to stalk his prey a little bit.
Yeah, you can see the 67 got in the wall there, and that's going to be all it takes for him to catch him.
Coming off of turn number 2, side by side, can Bugs make the pass? Get an Amazon Prime delivery for Fotoraro himself. Yes, he can. He will go low, and that will be position number 3 or 4 for Bugs. He will now move up and start to challenge Macedo and Graham.
Yeah, Macedo just dropped back one position there, so Graham moves back into the second position. And, yeah, they figured that one out pretty fast. But, you know, seeing the 67 Fotoraro that was in the wall there, I think he's coming down pit road now, and he probably needs to. Yep. So he got in the wall there. I think he was just pushing it and was like, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm going to wreck this car to stay out.
Let's hold on for him to a second. He did use the quick repair. He did use the quick repair coming down pit road. That might not have been the smartest decision, but we'll see how that plays out for the rest of his race. Now Brandon Bugs down on pit road, looking for 4 tires and a full tank of fuel himself.
Yep, quite a few on pit road. It's a matter of time when the 80 of Brandon Osborne comes down. And Wes Graham hasn't come down yet, nor has the 25 of Macedo. And Charles Gray staying out. He'll take the 4th position away.
If you're Osborne right now, you can basically choose when you want to come down. He's got a 7.5 second lead. He's basically in his own continent at this juncture, so he can really decide when he wants to come down. And I'm now curious, is he going to try to make this a one-stop race?
I think he is, and that's the winning move if you can get it done. I think he's going to have to come down pit road in the next couple laps here regardless for fuel, but staying out this late in the game has really been good for him. He's put everything he can towards it, almost an 8-second lead. That gives you a really comfortable buffer when you come to pit road under green.
I mean, he will absolutely lose time. And I think what he's hoping for is he can outlast Graham, Macedo, Gray, and others. I'm really thinking he wants to try to get them a lap down so that when he comes down pit road, he doesn't have to give up first place. If he has a great stop, he may drop to second or third, but he doesn't have to give up a ton of space to those guys who he knows could challenge him all night long.
And we're riding on board when you see he has got his hands full with this car. And we're going to move the ticker here to the top. But yeah, keep an eye on his hands here, especially off of 2. That car is free, but he's just got such a poise with it. It's incredible to watch.
He's really found peace with his car. I don't know what they did to this car. Maybe they had a tent revival for it. I don't know, but the car has found peace. The car is in a very good place right now. The driver is calm as can be, smooth as butter, if you will. Smooth as butter on a hot kernel or hot cob of corn is Osborne, and he is plowing the field with that Mahindra Tractor's Ford Mustang.
As many puns, as many corn and Iowa puns as you can throw into the meme race. We definitely we love to see it. Right back here, you got the 88 still holding on to that position for the 25, but they are still racing for that. And here's the 6 of Clint trying to get his lap back right now. So Clint has to be real smart here and not get into a bad situation trying to pass these 2.
Well, more importantly, he's also fighting the 80 of Osborne as well. If that car in the 80 comes back around, then he could end up being 2 laps down. One can not hope, but the 6 racing very smart, and it looks like those other guys giving him a little bit of space. They don't want trouble. Wes doesn't want trouble. Macedo doesn't want trouble. They may just give him the position because, hey, we're not racing him for anything. If we get him out of our way, that's one less car we have to get around.
You know, another guy that is playing the long run here is the 87 of Charles Gray. Like the top 5 right now, they are all electing to stay out and wait for the very last minute before they hit pit road. But 70 laps into this race, I mean, this is incredible. I did not think we would see it. But, you know, Iowa is a lot shorter than you think it is.
Again, it's less than a mile. It feels longer because you're racing the track, you're racing the car all over the place, you know, and as much as you're racing all the competitors, you're fighting with that car all the way around. You're trying to figure out where you can go. Oh, as the Coyote machine, the 97 of Beaver looks like it blinked out there for a second. That could have been catastrophic for the 80 of Osborne. Now I guarantee you he's going to put the hammer down and get around him as fast as he can, just so he doesn't get jeopardized by that net code.
Oh, that's exactly what he was doing there. And I saw the 21 of Johnston. He almost caught the wall in the tri-oval there and made a sharp move down towards the 80 and had to scare the 80 quite a bit. So, yeah, he wants to get around these guys as quick as possible.
He did it. You know, he's almost got a 10-second lead on the rest of the field as we come up to the halfway point here on the track. Osborne continuing to lead. Let's follow along now with the 80 and 48. That's Nick Sargent in the car. He is currently running in the position number 6, waiting again for the leader to pit. Everybody has their eyes on Osborne and when he's going to come down pit road.
Yeah, that is the 60 car in front of you there. I know it's kind of hard for you to see on your screen. But yeah, so Ryan Potter there, that was a race for position, and Ryan Potter took the top 5 position away. That's why we're keeping an eye on that one there. He does have damage on that car, and he has not used a fast repair yet. Right behind him, that's the 80 right there coming through the tri-oval.
That is the 80. That's the car nobody wants to see right now. The Mahindra Tractors Ford Mustang just continuing to wreak havoc on this place. I was listening to the radio. Somebody asked Osborne, is this heaven? He responded, no, it's Iowa, but it might as well be the same thing.
I'm trying to keep an eye on some people. There was some whole bunch of movement happening here on the board. I don't know what happened. It all blanked out on us there, but I thought somebody came down pit road, and it looked like it was one of the top 5, but it's not the case, so back to it. But that was the 86 of Lance unlapping himself on the new tires, so you can see the difference in the speed right there. Jason Lance running a 25 flat, and Osborne running a 25.638. But I gotta say, you know, running a 25.638, 75 laps on your tires, that's impressive.
Cross flags this time by. We have officially made it through the halfway point, and let's go through your running order. Osborne, nobody's had any challenges for him. He continues to run at almost 10 seconds ahead of his competition. Macedo in the 25 will be position number 2. He's had a great run. Got involved in the accident early, was down to 13th, able to get that car straightened out back up, and he will now take position number 2 over the 88. Wes on the Cobb, Wes Graham. He's quagmired in traffic there as you see guys in front of him. Again, has not come down pit road, but is waiting on all the competition, seeing what everyone else does before he makes his decision. Charles Gray now in position number 4, works his way up, waiting for the pit stops to happen. I think he's going to run it dry as well. And running 5th, the 60 of Ryan Potter. Yes, that car is a little damaged, but aero doesn't matter as much on a short track. All he has to do is keep managing that car, keep running it forward, and just simply make it work until they can get down to pit road and get a little work done.
And then there's the 11 of Kyle Cleveland there in the 6th position, and Ryan Steinhoff is behind him. He's had a good start today there, 14th and all the way up to 7th, so maintaining speed right now. And behind him, James Hilton in the 89, and he's trying to stay on the lead lap right now. Doesn't look like that's going to work out, as the 80 is going to dive to the bottom and take that position away. Behind them, you've got Aaron Beaver in the 97, getting a top 10 after starting 24th, so a good run for him. And the rookie, Austin Johnston, will round out your top 10.
Lots of guys that we thought we'd see up front are currently running one lap down. In fact, only 6 cars are on the lead lap. As we see the 60 of Ryan Potter, he's going to come down pit road this time by. Let's see if he uses that quick repair. I would not be surprised if he did. In fact, this might be the time to do it. Yes, he will. He'll get the quick repair done, and it looks like it'll be a 4-tire stop for Ryan Potter.
Ryan Potter will get that taken care of, and here is Brandon Osborne finally making it down on pit road. We're waiting for this. Money stop.
He is in fact going to make this he's going to try to make this a one-stop race as he comes down pit road in the Mahindra Tractors Ford Mustang. I believe he's got the 2nd pit stall, so it's a long run at pit road speed. You cannot make a mistake right now. This will hurt you if you make the mistake. Should be 4 tires. Yes, it will be. Right sides go up. Quick stop there. Fuel goes into the machine. Will it be left sides up as well? Yes, it will be. Left sides up as well. 4 tires. Full tank of Sunoco Racing Fuel from Mahindra, down and away.
That Sunoco virtual racing fuel. Yep.
Yes, virtual racing fuel. Thank you for correcting me.
I'm
just trying to get paid, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get that sweet Sunoco money.
That Sunoco money that doesn't exist.
I'm trying to get the Sunoco exposure money. You know YouTubers don't work for cash. We work for exposure.
Yeah, exposure. That's what it is. And wrong one there. FRN, Flat Out Racing Network. They're the ones who made all the graphics you see here tonight. It was not cheap, that I can tell you. But your rate may differ from mine because we asked a lot of them. But all the on-screen graphics you see here tonight is Flat Out Racing Network and FRN. Fantastic job they have done. Dylan Macedo is taking the lead from Brandon Osborne, but still, it's a matter of waiting until that 80 car, which is right in front of him, starts pulling away again.
So let's see who hasn't come down pit road. Macedo has not come down pit road. Graham has not come down pit road. Steinhoff, Beaver have not come down pit road. I believe Fotorero and Bugs already have. So really, Osborne's competition right now is the 67 of Fotorero, the 81 of Bugs, and so if he gets around those are the position cars he has to worry about.
Well, you want to talk about pressure right now? It is all on the 88 camp, right? Because, well, you can't make any mistakes here. You need to get as much of a gap as you possibly can with the 80, number one. But number two, you have to have a perfect pit stop here.
Yeah, no, right now, any error, a loose virtual tire, a virtual lug nut that doesn't want to go on, a fussy virtual gas can that doesn't want to work. All those things can mess with your stop. And guess what? All these stops are randomized. You have no idea. Yes, it's a computer, but you have no idea if the computer is going to give you a bad roll that time and give you a bad pit stop. Just like in real, that's one of the things they do to make it like real racing. You have no control over what the pit crew does, even though it's a virtual crew.
Yeah, and if you saw Graham get in the wall there, so he is definitely fighting that car, and he'll probably come down pit road really soon. But when you get on pit road here in iRacing, it's very different. Yeah, like you said, but it all depends on how fast you get in your box, how far forward you are, how far back you are. It determines on how your pit stop actually goes, rather than people actually out there making a mistake at, say the jack or whatever. You don't have that in virtual racing. So you have to be so perfect on, A, don't speed on pit road. You can't afford a black flag. But number two, you have got to absolutely nail your marks on pit road.
And I think that's one of the things that makes virtual racing such an interesting sport, is just as much as you're fighting against the competitors and all the other traffic down there as the 97 will now come down pit road. Aaron Beaver takes the Coyote down on pit road. Let's see what he does. What I was going to say is, not as much as you're fighting against the competition, you're also fighting against yourself. It's a game of mental focus. It's a game of strength. It's a game of ability. And we're going to see if Beaver has it as he pulls into his pit stall.
Well, for Beaver right now, you know that you're not going to, you still have a lot of racing to go. I don't think a two-tire stop will happen here. I think it's going to be four. But what an incredible day he's had, starting in the back there and moving all the way up here into, he was in second when he came up pit road.
Osborne has now cleared Fotorero and Bugs, so he is effectively your leader because Graham has not come down pit road. Graham is playing the long game. Wes Graham wants to get a yellow flag out in the field. He really wants somebody to make a mistake, cause an accident, and ultimately bring out the yellow flag. That's what his strategy is built on right now. That is his pure strategy at this point. He is rolling the dice, and it's ultimately in everybody else's hands if it comes to fruition.
3 wide with lap traffic. Well, he's going to let that 21 of Johnston get on by there, no problem. And Guzman at the bottom, keeping an eye on them. You do not want to get in any situation that could hurt your car right now.
Absolutely not, as we see that pink machine bounce off another car. Now maybe some mental fatigue is starting to set in for some of these guys. Now maybe they're starting to lose focus, and this could play very well into Wes Graham's hand.
This is back here in the 4th position. You've got Leonard Fotorero in 3rd, and the 81 of Brandon Bugs in 4th, and Dylan Macedo behind them. The 11 car is not for position there. It's a good-looking car, though. Kyle Cleveland's Pop Secret Chevy Camaro.
Yeah, it's one of the sharper cars out on the field, and I really appreciate how he's been able to take the corn theme, the corn meme theme, if you will, and really get creative with it. So I think if we're giving out trophies for most creative car, that might be one of the contenders.
So Wes Graham right now, there goes the 25 to get back on his lap. But we're going to keep an eye right here. I'm going to go up back to the blimp because we want to see. Here's the 88 here on coming on pit road right there. Yep, and Brandon Osborne is all the way back here in turn 3. So you're just going to see how fast this changes.
It's going to change rather fast now as Graham, the last of your leaders to come down pit road, made it all the way to lap 94. I guarantee you that tank is dry, so he may need a few extra moments on pit road. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you are fighting for position, when you're fighting to try to get back to 2, that little difference, those 2 seconds could make the world of difference.
And that was a fantastic stop. You see how perfectly in the middle of that box he's at? That's where you want to be when you get here. You get too far forward, too far back, it affects your time.
4 tires on the car, down and away, and he is back to green flag racing. He will shake out around position number 10, officially 1 lap down right now, as guess who's back in the lead?
There's the 80 of Osborne in the Mahindra Ford Mustang, and it has been one fast car tonight. We've seen him with pretty much an 8-second lead on the field at some points.
Now he's got 5 seconds over Fotorero, 5 3/4 on Bugs, 14 seconds on Macedo. At this point, everyone's saving grace could be a yellow flag. If anyone wants to get back into this race, they're going to need that yellow flag to come out and help them out and get the run they need. So I don't know. It really is now all in Osborne's court.
Yeah, and that's exactly all it is. These guys back here are hoping for a yellow to shake things up. They definitely need it. That would definitely close that gap that you see on Osborne and Fotorero. If you're Osborne, you want this to go green and go to the end because you showed up tonight with a good mental mindset. We're not going to sit there and say that he has the fastest car because that's not what it is. Everybody has the same setup. This is a fixed setup, so it really comes down to the driver to get it done. And that's really cool about watching exhibition style races or these fixed races you see here tonight. Everybody shows up with the same exact equipment, and there's nobody but to blame but yourself in practice.
Well, and again, not only just in practice, but in the race conditions itself, when you're this spread out, when you are not sure who you're racing for position and who you're just trying to get around to avoid traffic, this is where the mind games come in. And this is where you have to have the mental fortitude and the capacity to focus all throughout the race in order to make your moves when you want to and how you want to. If you don't have that mental focus, that fortitude, the ability to race through another 50 laps here at Iowa Speedway, you're going to make a mistake, and that could open some doors for a lot of people around you.
And it's very interesting to watch that 80 because the 80's not getting all the way down to the yellow line like we saw a lot of those guys. He's running the middle to high line, and he's not only has speed, but we know that he's been able to conserve by doing that.
And based on that alone, we know he can go more than half the race on fuel. So Osborne's good. Everyone who is pitted now, they are all good. They are all settled in. They can race. The question is, are they going to get the yellow flag they're hoping for? Are they going to get what they need as Bay Area Bugs now taking his second stop?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here or why that happened. He's not the only one. I believe there was somebody else that came down on pit road as well. But maybe I thought we already saw him on pit road.
We did see him on pit road earlier. I think we saw him around lap number 60 or 65 or 70, but this could be an interesting strategy play. He was far enough behind. He was over 7-8 seconds behind Osborne. This could be a strategy play. If we do have another caution flag, if something crazy comes out, he'll have fresher tires. He'll have fuel. He won't need to worry about anything else. Or this could be, look, I know I'm not getting any position. Let me go down, get fresher tires now, and see if I can just run everything I can on these, burn them down, trying to catch your leader.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think this is a strategy call, and I think it's a smart one because, hey, you're not going to beat Osborne at his own game here, but you're also dealing with a track that's less than a mile long. So, if tires really matter in that first stint that we saw before they came down pit road, you noticed, hey, the tires are going to go at a certain point by the end of this race. I might as well come down because nobody else is going to do it. Maybe he took 2 tires. I didn't see how many he took there. But come down, get the fresh tires, and then get back out there and just give her hell.
I believe it was a 4-tire stop, and I really like this because you're absolutely right. He's not going to be able to beat Osborne, from 7 seconds behind. In his mind, he's like, let's go ahead, get fresh tires. We only have 45 laps left to go. Let's burn them down. Let's run as hard as we can and see if we can give some fight to that 80 machine. As now the 80 starts to stalk Wes Graham in that 88 machine. He could put him another lap down.
Well, the 88 was down that lap, and he just unlapped himself. So the 88 has speed on the 80 there. But yeah, I mean, he wanted to get in front of him. So if a caution comes out right now, Wes is sitting pretty good. But the whole field's shooken up right now so much because of the strategy that's being played. Not just with these guys. We're looking at Favignano and even Macedo and Charles Gray in the 4th position.
7 cars on the lead lap right now. Osborne, Favignano, Macedo, Gray, Sargent, Brown, and Graham are the only 7 cars on the lead lap. If a caution flag came out, the 86 of Lance would be the lucky dog, and then it'd only be an 8-dog fight. But nonetheless, these guys are running for what they can, trying to get as much position as they can figure out, because they know every position counts at this juncture. Everything counts. If a yellow flag comes out, having that extra position could make or break their entire night.
And Joel Brown falling there a little bit as well. So the 88 definitely has that speed, but interesting that Joel Brown has not used a fast repair yet. So maybe he has not been on pit road. He is taking the extra long game here. I don't think he can. I think that, has he been on pit road? I can't tell.
I believe he was on pit road, but don't quote me on that. And he's not going to be able to survive all 150 laps. That tank is going to go dry at some point. The polygons are going to give up, and he's going to be forced to come out. Now, again, this could play in everybody else's hands. If he hasn't come down pit road, he could run out of gas at any time. And if he does in the middle of traffic, that could be the yellow flag everybody's waiting for.
You see the 88 going like a bat out of hell because he needs to get away from the 80, which is still in his rear view mirror there. And then if you are the 81, you're P12 right now, a lap down. Well, now you need to drive the heck out of your car so you can get up there and pass the 80, and then you have to pass him again to win the race. Now that's where it's crazy, I know, but a 0.89 or whatever you said, 7.8 or something like that. That's the length of this track, which is quite small compared to, a mile and a half.
It drives like a mile and a half. It feels like a mile and a half, but it is a very, very short track, and these laps are not getting any slower. These guys have to start putting the hammer down, racing as hard as they can, trying to make their way around this track in quick succession. Otherwise, there's not going to be a whole lot of real estate left to fight for. That being said, Bugs is making his way through the field. He's currently up to position number 11. He's got to get past Alex Reno in the 22 machine. If he's able to do that, he'll get in the top 10, but he's still got 4 other cars to get in front of if he wants that lucky dog spot.
Riding on board with the 22 of Alex Reno, and what a day he's had, He's running in the top 10. Regardless if you're a lap down, well, so is 7 another car. So, 7th on back is all a lap down. So, it comes down to strategy call and making good pit stops, and we've seen the 22 do that.
As he gets past, as he lets the 81 by now, this time by with those fresher tires, you see how much faster Bugs is in the American Cornhole Organization, Toyota Supra. I gotta say something nice about Aviator Alex Reno. He's been with this league since day one. He has been a part of this, part of the heart and soul of this league. He knows he's not the fastest guy out there, but he gives it his all week in and week out, and we've seen him really mature as a driver, which has been a lot of fun. All said and done.
Yeah, he started out in iRacing in the first season, and he had never picked up iRacing. He had never played it before. Fresh rookie out of that, and has really just shown that anybody can do this as long as you take the time in practice. That's the biggest thing, and move your way up from there. But he's really become a seasoned driver, and it shows.
It really has, and even 11 positions, not the worst place to finish here at Iowa Speedway. This track will give you as much trouble as you want. As we said before, going out of turns 3 and 4, it's like ice skating on cream corn. You're just going to get slick and slippery, and God knows what else is going to happen. So, you have to be as careful as you can as you exit those turns in order to not get sideways and not cause a big accident.
Brandon Osborne, the one to beat tonight, 10-second lead, almost 11 seconds right now, as we have been green flag racing this entire time. We had one early on caution, and ever since then, it's been pretty quiet as far as accidents go. We've seen a couple of guys get into the wall, but hey, that'll happen. But nobody's spun from hitting the wall, so this could go all the way to the end in green, but we've seen things happen where you get a caution the last 10 laps or something, because now a lot of guys are pushing themselves. One, they're trying to get as much as they can out of the car and overdriving the car, but also on older tires, and that usually doesn't go together.
No, that does not. But anything can happen out here. Osborne is running as hard as he can, and he's got an incredible lead. But again, a yellow flag will change everything. The one caution flag, one misstep, one lack of focus will change the complexion of this race. And when that caution flag comes out, then it really is anybody's race to win.
Yeah, everybody's just so spread out right now. That's the 81 of Brandon Buggs, looking to pass the 67 just to unlap himself from that 67. And from the 67, if we have a look here on the blimp, you'll see Favignano is right there in front of Buggs, but in front of him, now there's Brandon Osborne. He's coming to the start-finish line right now, so that's a lot of time to make up there. But he's definitely doing exactly that. So right now, Brandon Buggs with a 24.783 there to the 25.153 that Brandon Osborne's running. So taking those tires was smart. He's running about a second faster.
He's running a second faster. He's running a lot cleaner all around this track. And you see the advantage of those tires. He's really making them work out for himself. And now he's in position number 10, it looks like, as he continues to run down around the track. He's in good position. If a yellow flag comes out, he could be in very good position. He won't have to come down pit road, so we'll get his lap back regardless, which is a good thing for him. But again, you're rolling the dice. It's really literally up to everybody else on the track.
I can't say anything nicer than, wow, what an incredible decision to do that. He's the only driver we've seen do that, Brandon Buggs, to come down on pit road and to make this a two-stop just for tires. But I think it might work out in his favor because a lot of these guys are dropping really quickly.
He is dispatching drivers left and right and making some serious time up on the rest of the field. The next driver for position for Buggs will be the 11 of Cleveland, followed by the 59 of Steinhoff and the 43 of Brown. He's got to get up to position number 6, got to get past the 48 of Sargent if he wants to try to be in the lucky dog position. And if I'm Brandon Buggs right now, that is my goal. Run as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and try to get to position 6. So even if I decide to come down pit road, I'm guaranteed to get my spot back.
You can see there's Brandon Buggs right there on the exit of 4, and right there is the 11 at the start-finish line. So that's a 25.333 that Kyle Cleveland ran right there, and Brandon Buggs right there ran a 25.161. So still charging forward.
Slowly but surely, he's reeling him in, but time is not on his side. 25 left to go in tonight's big feature. Osborne still in the lead. Real estate is not anyone's friend right now as they continue to run down the track. Time is winding down. It's only a matter of time to see where everybody's chips fall.
Yeah, we're watching where everybody's at here. And look at this, Dylan Macedo. This is the race we have on the track right now. It's the 25 and the 67. This is for position right here for the second position. So definitely going to see some racing out of these two.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to see some racing out of these two, and it will be long overdue. It may not be for a huge position, but it will be for position number 2. And at this juncture, everyone not named Osborne, everyone not driving a red Mahindra Tractors Ford Mustang is simply fighting for the best position they can get.
Which is crazy because there in front of you, that is Brandon Buggs there on the exit of turn 4. So you can see he's already made it past these two and is on the charge for Osborne right now. Is that correct? That can't be right. No, that's not right. Because the next position for him was the 11 car. I think that's somebody else.
That's correct. The 11 is the next position up for Buggs. Meanwhile, Favignano and Macedo only about, what, 3 car lengths back. He's going to try to follow the 86 machine down low, try to get a run going. If you're going to show some speed, you're going to show some muscle, now would be the time to do it.
Man, yeah, good racing happening right here. But yeah, no, that what I was saying is right up here. There's Brandon Buggs right there off of turn 2, and here they are fighting for those positions right there. Now, this is what I was worried about. Now he's starting to fall back, and he could possibly, be under fire from these guys.
Possibly, but again, with 20 laps to go, now is go time. Now you take the restrictors off, you throw the brake pedal out the window, and you just lay the hammer down and go, go, go. We're still watching that second place battle right now as Macedo continues to make a run, makes contact with Fotorero, and that could open the door for position number 2.
Yeah, these guys are really going at it right now. It is tough racing. But you know what? You can't tell me that a guy you see another car in front of this for another position, as a race car driver, virtual race car driver, whatever it is, you can't say, hey, I'm not going to try to pass that guy.
No, you're not. As much as these guys are friends off track, you're not going to let friendship get in the way. You're not going to let gentlemanly kindness get in the way of going for a win, going for position 2, going for position 3, because at the end of the day, you guys are still racing. Even if there's no purse, even if there's no money involved, bragging rights are all important, and sometimes bragging rights can be even more valuable than cash.
Well, this is the best battle we have on the track right now, and it is a close one between these two. It looks like the 25 has got corner entry really good there, but the 67 just has that corner exit speed, so you're getting that really, really, really close racing, and it's hard for that 25 to make the pass.
Scoring 133 of lap 1 of 150 laps, and he could get it this time by. Is he going to be able to make the pass down low? He clears him. Scored Macedo, position number 2 as a 67 Fotorero, now looking for the crossover.
Yep, 67's not going to take that one lying down. We'll see if he can do anything with it in turns 1 and 2, because right now the 25's going to have a lot cleaner air in front of him until he gets to these other cars that are, the back markers there, the lappers. But that's helping him out a lot because now he's pulling away.
15 laps left to go at this juncture. Osborne untouchable, 13 seconds over Macedo and Fotorero. You see him now closing up the gap on Charles Gray. Brandon Osborne digging hard, digging deep. All he has to do is 15 clean more laps, and he will have taken the corn beams 150.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He's slowly but surely knocking them off one at a time, taking it easy, not putting himself in a position that can hurt him. And what can you say other than what an incredible drive by him today, making good decisions on pit road, and then also, making that decision to take the outside lane on that restart. Really worked for him, and he was able to pull away.
He has been very strong all race long, ever since that second restart with our only caution flag. He has just dominated this race from start to finish, and he is... what else can you say? This has been his race start to finish, and even if something crazy happens, he should hold his head high because this race was entirely under his control from the moment the green flag flew to the moment the checkered flag flies.
He's about to pass the 87 there of Charles Gray, which is in the 5th position, so this goes to show just how crazy it is. There's only 5 cars in the lead lap right now.
That's right, 5 cars on the lead lap. Osborne, Macedo, Fotorero, Graham, and Gray are your 5 cars on the lead lap, and Gray could actually end up getting lapped this time around. Let's see if he's going to let him around. I think he's going to fight him. I think he's going to give him a little fight for that position, but ultimately it will be Osborne dispatching him, so now only 4 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, and the 87 is definitely going to do everything he can right here because he needs to get in front of the 80. If the caution were to come out, he would be the lucky dog and would get that lap back. So he will be fighting for this as much as possible.
He's absolutely going to be digging as hard as he can. But if you're Gray, though, all you have to do is make sure nobody behind you gets around you because he's in a good place. He doesn't have to do anything. Scoring lap 140, 10 to go. Osborne square in control. He could end up passing Graham before this is said and done.
Yeah, he's definitely on the charger there. So here's Brandon Osborne, and behind him, that's Dylan Macedo in the 2nd position. So Macedo could get lapped if there was another 30 laps in this race. But have a look here. There he is at the line, and then second place is right there. So this has been crazy.
This has been a crazy race all in all, just especially when you consider Osborne has just been dominating. You know, this has just been a lot of fun all the way around for Osborne. All he has to do is keep chugging along. 9 to go, and this race is officially his.
Yeah, and if you think he's taking it easy, he's not. He's attacking this track 100%. You can see it in his hands there. You can see it in his footwork. He's being very patient with the car. That's why he's rolling the center so much faster than these guys. That's where he's making it up a lot of time. You'll notice when he gets in the middle of the corner, he's not binding the car up at all in the middle. Watch how straight this wheel is. Well, he kind of screwed that one up, but watch this wheel here, especially down into 1 and 2. Well, there's the car really free on him. But in the between 1 and 2, you'll see how straight he has that wheel, and that's where he's getting all that speed.
You know, he might be honestly the only person who is truly happy with his setup tonight. As he gets sideways, dirt tracks it off of turn number 2, saves the car, and as soon as I say that, the announcer's jinx comes along. I think he's going to drive a little more conservatively for the next 6 laps.
Yeah, I think it's where you're like, hey, you know what? I'm attacking the track. I'm doing everything I can here. He's not a slow driver by any means. But you can't tell me that didn't scare him, and yeah, he's taking it a little easier now.
Yeah, I mean, at this juncture, you don't need to race as fast as you can. You don't need to go as hard as you can. You just need to finish it in one piece going the right direction. 5 laps to go at the start-finish line. Osborne leads. Macedo squarely in second. Fodoraro rounds out your top 3.
Man, I can tell you, I did not expect this race to go this way at all. What we saw in practice is so different than what we have seen here on the track and under green flag conditions in racing. It's been a stark contrast there. I thought we were going to see a lot more cautions, but we only had that 1 caution. Although 5 to go, it's going to be 4 to go here at the line now. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. A caution flag can still come out, and we do have overtime rules in the OCRP iRacing League. So if a caution flag comes out at this juncture, we could see a green-white checker finish, and I guarantee you that green-white checker finish would get absolutely insane.
It would. And remember, it's only for bragging rights and for fun, but these guys drive their hearts out, and I can tell you the amount of motion that I have seen in the 80 of Brandon Osborne at Bristol when he got the win there. Like, the difference between the two, you can hear it. When they cross that line, they win a race. You're winning a race. It's still really hard to do, and it's an uphill battle from the start. But when the caution comes out. Wow.
Of course it does. Of course the caution comes out. The corn hub machine, Ryan Stein.
Wow.
He cornholed himself, I would say, on that one.
Oh, this is not what Osborne wanted to see, but there's so many people that are going to be down a lap. This is going to be an option. Who's going to come down pit road? What's going to happen here? We're going to find out. But first of all, let's back this up. We got to see what happened to the 59 here. He was racing the 81 pretty hard here.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
And yeah, I don't think that the 81, it's a racing deal right there.
It's a racing deal, but on the 59, I'm just letting him around. He's faster than me. He's got newer tires than me. I don't need to fight him. But he decided to fight him anyways. He tried to give him the rear end of that corn hub machine, give him a little backdoor action, but he got backdoored himself. I think you can see that kind of thing on Pornhub. I don't know. I've never been to the site.
Have never been there. But up here, yeah, the 81 had damage from that. And he has not used the fast repair, so he could if he comes down pit road. I mean, any takers on pit road? We got Dylan Macedo down here. Leonard Fodarero's on pit road. Brandon Osborne's on pit road. Everybody's on pit road. This is going to be insane.
Everyone who can go to pit road is on pit road. Right now, it's only open to those 4 or 5 cars that were on the lead lap. This time around, it will be open to all of the lapped cars that came down pit road. So we'll see exactly how many lap cars decide to come in and how many decide to try their luck and stay out, knowing that they have their lap back.
Yeah, I see. There we go. There's Charles Gray in the second position. He came down. I don't think he came down. I think he stayed out. Here's coming down now. So now we're going to find out where everybody actually ends up here. So you have the 80 of Brandon Osborne. Then you have Dylan Macedo. The 67 of Leonard Fodorero back here. Then Charles Gray is on pit road right now. Wes Graham is going to be fourth right there. This is going to be one hell of an ending, buddy.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. This is exactly what everybody was hoping for. Now, the question is, will any of those guys come off pit road? Will they take 2 tires and come off pit road before the leaders come back around? That is the big question I want to find out, because if 2 tires right now is a very risky strategy. It could pay off, and it looks like a lot of guys are going to get out in front of your leader.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
A lot of 2-tire stops there, I have to imagine, Jeff, just to stay on the lead lap and hope that they have enough to challenge for position. Osborne, if I'm Osborne right now, I am salty. If I'm Osborne, I am saying a lot of things that Kyle Busch can't say on national television.
Yeah. No, you're 100% not happy with the caution coming out. We've seen crazy things happen like that, though, you know, a self-spin or something like that. But that was a racing incident. 2 guys, you know, battling back there. Maybe a little harder than they should have, but that's racing. You know that every time you come here and you go and you put yourself in this position, you're going to have to deal with it if that caution comes out, and that's exactly what the 80's going to have to do here. A lot of wave arounds in front of him there for position, or to get their laps back there.
It looks like 4 cars decided to stay off pit road to get their positions back. It's going to be the 48, it's going to be the 22, the 97, and I believe the 29 will all stay out.
Yeah, that looks like who stayed out there, and they will go by that next time by. Look at Macedo really getting aggressive on the wheel there, and so is Leonard Fodorero. These guys are ready to go racing again. It's anybody's game now.
They are keeping those tires warm. They want them as loose as they can get. When we go back to green flag racing, they want to challenge your leader, the guy who's been running this race all night long up front. Lights are off on the pace car, so you know what that means. Green, white, checkered next time by.
Now, it's very simple to go, hey, this is not what the 80 wanted to see, but the 80 is so strong on restarts and starts of these races. Like, this is not going to be over by a long shot here. They all came down pit road. They all got fresh tires. So they're all on the same even ground here. So, yeah, this is the 80's race to lose. But my number is on the 80. I think the 80's got it tonight.
The 80 is the one to beat, but you've got 4 other drivers there who have been so strong all night long. And the 81 of Bay Area Bugs in the mix right now. I don't think we've seen the end of this race. Pace car now down on pit road, Jeff, means only one thing. Get ready for the longest 2 laps of your life.
Yep, green flag in the air. The 80 is on his way, waiting no time at all to get going. Watch the 67 back here as he's going to try to dive it down to the bottom.
The 80 dive bombs the entire field as a 25 and 67 side by side going to the backstretch. They're going to go 2 wide, 3 wide behind him, but no one
the
can
caution comes out. Have to restack him again. Scott Barkman there went for a little bit of a ride. Oh, cautions bring cautions, but especially this late into the game here, it looks like it was a self-spin.
Yeah, he just overdrove it. As we look at this replay, he overdrove it going into 2, put too much pressure on those back tires, and that'll be a self-spin cycle. He's going to have to wind up and dry out in that Brandt machine one more time. But if you're everybody else right now, I think you're a little frustrated because you were gearing up. You were giving it all it's got, and now you've got to get that adrenaline back under control and do it one more time.
Well, I can tell you, the 80 controlled that restart so perfectly, and you utilized the outside lane and had such a good jump on them. It's going to be hard to beat them because it's different. You know, in real life, they have the Geico restart zone. We don't have this here. The moment that pace car goes down pit road, you can't pass the pace car. But once it goes down pit road, you can go at any time.
Absolutely right. You can go at any time as long as you don't get around that pace car. And what a lot of these guys will do, they'll wait to see the green flag, because once the green flag's up, it's fair game. Then they can do whatever they need to do to make the moves. But you can't pass the leader before you get to the start-finish line. That'll get you in trouble. Lights should go off this time by, I believe, and we should be back to racing in one more lap.
Yep, and that's the thing, you know, it's frustrating to be in the front of the pack and then, you know, you're trying to just finish this thing out under green, white checkers, and you have guys wrecking behind you. But you know what? You can't say, you can't be too angry about it, because those guys are racing for position just like you are. It doesn't matter if you're racing for that first position or whatever. You can't tell all these other guys, hey, don't race each other. Let us win, you know, or let us finish this race out. They're going to race as hard as they can back there in the back. And what we saw there, that was the 97 just trying to get everything he could out of the car.
Lights remain on. It will be one more lap, at least one more lap, before we're back to green flag racing. So let's stack them up here one more time, let you know where all your favorites are at. Osborne, of course, Brandon Osborne, still your leader. Macedo has worked his way up back to position number 2 after being involved in that earlier incident, dropping from 13th all the way up now to 2nd place. Wes Graham, the 88, will be position number 3. Leonard Fodorero will be position number 4, and Charles Gray rounds out your top 5.
Yeah, I made a mistake there. I said the 97. I meant the 9 of Scott Barkman that went around there. It was Aaron Beaver in the 97. So that was my fault. But yeah, I mean, have a look, you know, making that decision to come down pit road as well. That worked out. Brandon Bugg showing in the P7 position. He is on the lead lap as of right now.
He will remain on the lead lap. Sargent in 8th, Reno in 9th, and Cleveland, the first car, 1 lap down in position number 10. So this is effectively a 9-car dash for the cash. If you've got the corn, if you've got the ethanol underneath you, you're breathing it in your lungs, you're doing everything you can right now. You're amping yourself up, trying to make this work. If only the pace car would turn off those darn lights.
Yeah, it's a delayed caution right now, so they're going to wait another lap before they turn those lights off, and we can find out what happens here this late into the game. But I can say, hey, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a fantastic night of just nothing but, well, I didn't expect it to go this way. Good green flag racing. My name's Jeff Favignano, and I'm joined by Joe Cortez tonight. We appreciate you here on twitch.tv/jfavignano watching live. And for those of you that are watching at home later on the archives on Favignano Live, we appreciate that as well. It is the 6th annual OCRP Corn Meme 150, and I think it's time to start popping some kernels here in the front.
This is the point where you got your antsy, you know those kernels are popping, you know the pop secret is on its way, and all you want to do is hoist the big ear of corn when it's all said and done. Lights are going to go off this time by, maybe? Yes, they will. And in an interesting move, the 80 of Brandon Osborne will choose the low side instead of the high side. Could this be the advantage the 25 has been looking for all night long?
And with that extended caution, I almost got a hold of the 80 so we could talk to him, but I just don't want to throw him out. You know, I don't want to have the commentators curse, so I didn't want to grab him and be like, hey, how's it working for you? You think you got something for it? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to do that to him, so that's the reason why. He was available for interview there, but this late in the game, if I was in his position, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to go back racing.
And that's exactly what these guys want to do. We will see if the low line can work for the first time tonight for Brandon Osborne. Pace car is going to go down the pit lane this time around as they come off turn 4. Osborne in control of the field. One more time. Let's go green flag racing. Here we go. Osborne off like a shot as a 25 and 67 hookup trying to catch up.
This is where it all counts right now. The 87 of Gray up in that mix. He's in the 5th position. And, wow, behind them, it's a good stack up back there, right around the 4 of Robert Keller. But all in front, here's what we're watching. And the 80's got to protect the back end.
He is doing some rearview mirror driving as we cross the line. 1 to go. Next flag ends the race. Osborne into turns 1 and 2 flawlessly. Macedo can't make the count, can't make the run.
It's 1 to go by Thrustmaster. Once again, it comes down to these final turns. Can the 25 get there?
Looking left, looking right, nowhere to go. The 67 now wants a piece, and Brandon Osborne will be your winner of the Corn Memes 125.
What a fantastic drive by Osborne. Talk about knowing you had the pressure on you. This was your race to lose, and I got to say the 25 Macedo definitely put on one heck of a showing there. I thought he would be able to get it done there for a second, but the 80 held him off and gets the win, and what a great drive by him. Very, very deserving.
Incredible driving all the way around. He was in square control of this race from start to finish, as Macedo gives him the donut on the side of the car, telling him, congratulations, buddy, you earned it. You see the donut there, right there on the side of the Mahindra Tractors Ford Mustang. Burn him down, Brandon Osborne. You've won it. You deserve it. This has been your race from start to finish. He will be the winner of the 6th annual Corn Memes 125. Yeah, it looks like he's going to do the Polish victory lap before he goes claims the big ear of corn as his victory prize.
Yep, definitely something that the 80 is known to do. Interesting to see the setup on this car tonight. You can really see it whenever they were on under caution. When they were cleaning the tires up back and forth. The car has got a lot of travel on that suspension. And you can see it right there as he comes around. Very interesting.
Very soft suspension, but Osborne was able to find a way to make it work as he goes down into the bull ring to burn him down.
Woo!
Oh!
Into the wall.
Into the wall. But you know what? Hey, they don't need this car again. They don't need to worry about the chassis. They're just going to burn it down and have a good time celebrating a big win here in Iowa.
Fantastic drive by the 80 of Brandon Osborne. And if you guys stick around here a little later, we will have some interviews with not only the winner, but some of the other drivers as well, and see how their races played out for them. But we will get to that in just a few. We're going to wait for him to finish his celebrations before we get you your race results. But what a fantastic drive by the 80 car. What can you say? But wow.
Great racing all the way around. What an incredible finish. And even when the pressure was on, he was able to make it work and plow through the field in that Mahindra Tractors machine. Not much else you can say. Just a great finish, leading 147 of 156 laps here at Iowa Speedway. Dylan Macedo will finish position number 2. Leonard Fodorero, position number 3. Wes Graham in 4th. Charles Gray in 5th. Nick Sargent, Aaron Beaver, Alex Reno, Brandon Buggs, and Joel Brown rounding out your top 10. The who's who of OCRP iRacing really rounding out your top 10.
Absolutely, and what an incredible run by Aaron Beaver, starting 24th and ends up getting 7th out of that. 11th was you got James Hilton, Ryan Steinhoff, Kyle Cleveland. You got Jason Lance, your pole sitter, in and out 14th. Not the night he wanted at all. Then you have Austin Johnson, the rookie, and Robert Keller, Scott Barkman, Zachary Guzman, Jeffrey Spells, and Ben Tuttle.
Running out the rest of your field, Ryan Potter, Clint Spells, Robert Webb, and Tony Wilson, who we understand was having some connection problems and other issues with his car. He decided to retire early.
I believe Tony is race control.
Oh, never mind that.
So he didn't get any. He started 20. Yeah, I believe so. That should be what it is, but I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong.
Either way, definitely a long night for him. Arguably a longer night for him than anybody else.
Yep. All right, let's go catch up with everybody. We'll be right back. All right, don't want to waste anybody's time anymore. We were just getting through the official results there. Incredible race. And one heck of a ending there. Let's speak to the winner tonight. Brandon Osborne had the speed early on, and you dominated all of this race. But how scary was it there towards the end when that caution came out?
I tell you what, Jeff, man, I'm gonna need some damn heart attack medication or something. This is the 3rd time that this has happened this season. Where we had a really good car and just had some funky stuff happen towards the end of the race and kind of goofed it. And here, with Iowa, you can really carry a lot of speed through the corners on fresh tires. So it was really anyone's race there at the end. And I think starting position had everything to do with it. And I was glad to be up front there at the restart.
Well, at one point you had almost 11 seconds there. And tell us about your decisions on pit road, because I know that you did some things totally different than some of the other guys.
Yeah, this nice Mahindra Tractors Ford Mustang painted by Mr. Tony Wilson over at Wilson Motorsports Designs. It was fast all race, and I, got some research done on Monday on exactly what was going on and what lines did what, and I wasn't happy with what I was doing, so I kind of did a little bit of research, a little bit of practice, kind of changed stuff up, and the way I was running and the way everything felt, I probably could have gone another 10 laps on the tires and been okay. I feel like we were saving a lot of rubber with the lines we were running, so that was really good. Just I could have split it at 75. I just split it at 80. Came down pit road, got 4 fresh tires, and I was just gonna kind of halfway it to the end.
Well, it was definitely a lot of fun watching your race, that's for certain. And I can say that I know you were available for a interview, and there at the end, I was like, I'm not going to do that to him. I'm not going to do A, the commentator's curse, but B, I'm not going to bring you in here when you were just like, let's just get this race over with. So we decided to not bring you up for that reason there. But congratulations on the win. Well-deserved, your second win of the season, right?
Yes, sir. And don't feel bad. Feel free to pop me in anytime, just as long as it's not like 1 to go or anything. We'll be all good.
All right. Yeah, the other one I want to talk to you real fast. Aaron Beaver started 24th, ends up 7th, and what a day you had, what a night you had. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I tried to qualify, but totally screwed it up, so I didn't even get to put a lap time down. So I stayed out probably one of the longest, I think lap 88, 89, something like that. Probably would have been a top 10 had things played out, but with Bugs giving that caution, which was awesome, that gained me a few more spots. So it was just a lot of racing, just tried to save tires and tried to pass people that maybe wore theirs out a little more, but it worked out well.
Yeah, it worked out really well there. I mean, 17 positions gained out of that race, and I know it was kind of an up and down thing, so it worked out for you. And always good to see you up in the top 10. That is for certain. Last person I want to talk before I send it over to Joe Cortez is Mr. Brandon Bugs. You started out in the beginning. You had a lot of speed. You were up there, and you're the second and third position, after starting 5th there. And you're the only one who decided to come down for a second stop for just tires. If he's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Hello. Hi. Yeah. Well, I burned my tires off in the first half of that run, racing against Leonard, and we both pit around 60. And then about the time that everybody started pitting around the 80, 90, 100 lap mark, my tires were feeling pretty worn already. So I kind of figured, well, I'm good on fuel, but I would like to have some more tire to finish running this race out. I figured a couple more people were going to be doing the same, but it looked like most people were running the one-stop strategy, so didn't really work out. Unfortunately, we didn't have a caution until mine, so I was kind of hoping that I could gain some spots on a late race caution, just bad strategy. Kind of cornholed myself tonight, so.
We heard that one quite a few times tonight, actually said. But we watched there. I don't know if you had a chance to see the replay yet with you and Steinhoff there, but it looked like it was a really, really close racing incident. Like it was just, I know you didn't mean to get into him or anything. It maybe even came down and you came up at the same time is what it looked like.
Yeah, I had a little more tire than he did because I pit. So I'd caught up to him working my way through the field. And by the time I got to him, my tires were pretty shot. So I was really trying to gain that spot on him. I kept getting runs, and then we kept getting really, really close exiting those corners. And then it just, 5-6 laps of that. Eventually, it was the slightest little bump in his rear quarter panel, and it sent him around. So it was unfortunate that we were the reason for that late race caution. I know some people probably really liked it, and I know some people probably really hated it, but, it is what it is.
There you go. Started 5th tonight, ends up in the top 10. And based off of the start of the season compared to where you are now, finishing a race, number 1, that's great. But 2, also in the top 10. Joe?
Dylan Macedo, the driver of the number 25 machine, finishes position number 2. Dylan, just walk me through that second green-white checkered finish. What's going on in your head, and what were you hoping to achieve after that first one ended up botched?
Well, first I wanted to get a good restart, which I felt like I got a better restart on the second green-white checker than the first. And then I tried to get down to the bottom as quick as I could to gain more speed and to keep Favignano and West behind me and try to, defend second a little bit. But at the same time, I wanted to stay in touch with Brandon. And then white flag came out, and I was pretty close to him. And I tried getting to the bottom there, and unfortunately wasn't able to pull it off, and then I tried it again, and then Leonard got underneath me, and I was unable to get underneath Brandon. But yeah, proud of a second place finish.
Definitely a difficult track. How hard was this setup to manage throughout the entire race? A lot of people in practice had a lot of trouble making it work.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Over the long run, it seemed like every time the car got over the bumps, it would just slide up the track, and it was getting harder and harder to turn. It was pretty difficult, but if you back your corners up a little bit more in the late run, then you can manage it a little bit better.
Road America next week. What's the strategy?
Oh, just try to stay on track and keep a steady pace. Should get a good finish there.
Dylan Macedo finishing second in the number 25 machine. Let's see if we can grab Leonard Forteraro here as well. Leonard Forteraro, if you're around, same question goes to you. How were you thinking? What was your mindset going into those final 2 laps? Were you hoping that you could deliver for Amazon tonight? And I don't think he's going to stop and talk to us. So let's go ahead and go to my buddy Wes the Mess, Wes Graham. 4th place finish, not exactly what you were hoping for, but definitely a hard fought race. Just give me your thoughts on Iowa in general.
Well, I'm pretty sure most of the people here already know that, but I don't like Iowa at all. I still have I've yet to figure out this place. But the 88 West LeCompte Chevrolet Camaro out of the WMD Designs stable was actually a lot better than what I thought. I came into this race, thinking I was going to get maybe 8th, 9th, or 10th, and somehow snuck a 4th out of here. So this is a huge win in my book for the program over here.
You've been having some very consistent finishes lately, and you mentioned before, this really isn't your track. The setup seemed a little loose. What was the hardest part of making it into 4th tonight? Was it the setup? Was it the track? Was it the corn on the cob? Was it or was it a combination of some of all 3?
Actually, this is the best car that I've had at Iowa. We've ran the trucks here, we've ran the Gen 6s, we've ran the next gen cars, even though I didn't get to run the next gen car. But it just seemed like as long as you could stay out of them bumps, because the bumps just shoot you, just lift the front of the car up off the ground and just shoot you up the racetrack. So as long as you keep out of the bumps at the top of one, and kind of roll that top in 3 and 4 once the tires got worn in. The car came around and it actually was a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun with Dylan earlier towards the end of that first run. It's nice when you can race, door to door with somebody with a really high racing IQ like that guy in the 25 has. It was an absolute pleasure and a great race tonight, man. This is the happiest I've been coming out of Iowa since we started running here.
The Midwest Swing ends next week at Mid-Ohio. Now we're north of Columbus. How are you feeling going into the road course?
I love that road course. A lot of elevation change. I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of people struggling, so I would implore everybody to practice. But me personally, I love the track. It's a good challenge. Got everybody going to be barreling into the keyhole lap 1. Got to make sure that you don't get turned around, and then make your way through the rest of the track. Mistake free. It's going to take a lot of mental fortitude to get those 50 laps done next Thursday.
A lot of racing ahead for Wes the Mess. Wes Graham finishing 4th tonight, Jeff.
Fantastic. We're going to let you guys get to your driver's meeting, but it was a fantastic race to watch. Did not expect that ending, but man, it was entertaining. So thank you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you all for the broadcast.
Yep. All right, Joe. Well, we kind of saw it all tonight, didn't we?
We saw, for those who stuck around to the end of the race, you absolutely got your money's worth. Even though it was a very strategic heavy race, even though there was a lot of different positions played, at the end, it all came down to two green-white checker finishes. At the end of the day, the best man for the race won, and definitely congratulations to Brandon Osborne for a dominating race, leading nearly every lap on the field tonight. Next week, they go to the elevation changes and the multiple turns of Mid-Ohio, and I've got a feeling, Jeff, that's going to be a great equalizer for everybody involved. That's going to be a fascinating race, because now you're not just racing each other on ovals, you've got multiple turns, you've got multiple passing zones, and I think the one who's going to win it is the one who best prepares himself and takes a lesson learned all season long and applies them next week.
Well, look, you got guys like Wes Graham, you got Brandon Buggs, you got Nick Sargent, you got guys that, even Vaderero, guys that are in Macedo, and Osborne, obviously, but guys that are really good at the road courses. Well, now's their chance to see if that can work out in their favor.
And I think they will. I think again, the guys who are going to be working very hard at managing the track, managing their tires, managing their cars, and the ones who practice that throughout the week, those are going to be your leaders. And with so much talent now in the OCRP iRacing League, with so much depth in this group, these guys have a lot going for them, and I think they're going to make a very, very entertaining race out of the next 50 laps we see out of them.
That is for sure. And we move on to Las Vegas after that, before going to Richmond and then ending it all down in Miami at Homestead Speedway on April 7th. So running out of time in Season 9. They're short seasons, but they are crammed full of action, and we have seen exactly that here tonight. That's going to do it for us in the booth at Iowa, the OCRP series. We sure enjoyed having you here for the 6th annual OCRP Corn Meme 150. My name's Jeff Favignano, and I was joined by Joe Cortez. We'll see you next week. Stand by for rig.